Welcome to the Louisville Free Public Library's annual Nutcracker Storytime with the Louisville Ballet. I'm Peter, and I'm excited to have you here with us today as we share some stories, crafts, dances, and even a few special guests. So sit back, relax, and welcome the Louisville Ballet as they read to us the story of the Nutcracker.
Welcome to Nutcracker Storytime with Louisville Ballet and the Louisville Free Public Library. My name is Erin, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I am a professional dancer, and I have been dancing since I was a little girl. In Louisville Ballet's production of the Nutcracker, which is called the Brown-Forman Nutcracker, I perform the role of Marie, and that is the costume I'm wearing today. In ballet, we perform using movement to tell a story. I hope you will join me in a little bit for some movement. But first, I would love to read a special Nutcracker story to you. Today, I'm going to be reading The Nutcracker in Harlem, written by T.E. McMorrow. It was snowing in Harlem on Christmas Eve. The party at Marie's house swirled with colors, gold and red and green. Mama and Poppy were dancing. Miss Addie sang, and Uncle Cab played the piano. Marie loved the sound of Christmas. "Join in, Marie," Uncle Cab called out. Marie looked down. She wished she could sing, but Marie was afraid that she wasn't any good. Certainly not like Miss Addie or Uncle Cab. The song ended. It was time for gifts. Every year, Uncle Cab would give Marie a doll and Freddie some toy soldiers. They were carved from a magical wood, Uncle Cab always said. He handed Freddie his gift. "And now for my Marie," said Uncle Cab. "A nutcracker," said Marie, "a drummer boy nutcracker." Dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum-dee-dum, played the nutcracker on his drum. Uncle Cab sang a tune to the beat of the little drummer. The room again filled with song. Everyone in the house was singing or dancing. Everyone except Marie. Miss Addie knelt next to Marie. "Will you sing with me, Marie?" she asked. Marie shook her head. "Maybe next time," Miss Addie said. "Music lives inside everyone. You just have to let it out." After dinner, Marie took the nutcracker and a slice of sweet potato pie and sat by the Christmas tree. The lights were soft and twinkling. She lay down, closed her eyes, and fell asleep. Marie opened her eyes. The house had gone silent. Outside, it had stopped snowing. A full moon glowed in the sky, and the living room was filled with a ghostly white light. A rustling sound came from the top of the tree where Mama had hung her favorite ornaments, the glass birds. It was almost as if the blue glass bird was moving. It was. The bird fluttered its wings and began to sing. The gold bird joined in, and the red one and the green one too. As the birds sang, the Christmas tree began to grow. It grew bigger and bigger until it towered over Marie. The ornaments, the presents, the dolls, and the soldiers grew too. Dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum-dee-dum. The nutcracker played his drum. The toy soldiers and dolls danced around the tree as the birds sang on. Crash! The music stopped. "Candy canes," a voice squeaked. Marie turned. A mouse army, all in uniform, was marching toward the tree. A mouse general was leading them, his chest covered with shiny medals. Candy canes, he repeated. Marzipan and chocolate. Charge! The Nutcracker began to drum. Dum-diddy-dum. The toy soldiers lined up behind him. They marched toward the mouse army. One mouse turned and ran away. Then the entire army followed, all except the general. I want sweet potato pie, the general shouted. He ran, jumped, and knocked the Nutcracker down. The drum fell to the ground. When the drumming stopped, so did the toy soldiers. The mouse army advanced again. Charge, the mouse general commanded. What could Marie do? She picked up the drum and put the strap over her neck. Dum-diddy-dum. The mouse army stopped, turned, and ran away. The general glared, but Marie kept drumming until he, too, fled. As the mice ran, they began to shrink, getting smaller and smaller. The toy soldiers chased the mice through a hole in the wall and into the snow outside. The glass birds sang as the soldiers returned. Marie joined the Nutcracker in a dance. They swirled around and around. They seemed to be on a cloud. It started to snow, but it wasn't cold. Marie closed her eyes and began to sing. Marie? She opened her eyes. It was morning. Did I miss Christmas? Marie asked. Of course not, darling, Mama said. Under the tree were Marie's dolls, the Nutcracker, and something else, a drum. She picked up the drumsticks. Dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum-dee-dum. Very good, said Uncle Cab. He began to sing a Christmas song. Mama and Poppy and Miss Addie all joined in, and so did Marie. I hope you enjoyed that story. There are so many different versions of the Nutcracker story, and my friend Brandon is going to read you another. See you shortly for some dancing.
Hello, my name is Brandon Ragland, and I'm a professional dancer with the Louisville Ballet. I have been a professional dancer for many, many years, and in Louisville Ballet's Brown-Forman Nutcracker, I will be playing the role of Cavalier. What I enjoy dancing about this role is getting to dance with the Sugar Plum Fairy in the land of the sweets. There are many versions of the Nutcracker story, and the one that I'm going to read to you is very different from the one that my friend Aaron just read to you. But there are also several similarities that I want you to see if you can point out. So, the story I'm going to read to you is The Nutcracker by Susan Jeffers. It was Christmas Eve at the Stahlbaum's house. Marie and her little brother Fritz were listening at the ballroom door, waiting for the party to begin. Everyone was dancing when the last guest arrived. "Godfather," cried Marie, rushing back to greet him. Herr Drosselmeyer was not only Marie's godfather, but he was also a famous toy maker. He could make toys move and the clocks that he called hours as sweetly as the nightingale. Herr Drosselmeyer brought presents for the children. He gave Fritz a box of toy soldiers. For Marie, there were two dolls, Harlequin and Columbine, who danced with each other. "I have another present for you, Marie," said Herr Drosselmeyer, handing her a wooden nutcracker. "I want you to take good care of him." "Not fair," shouted Fritz. "She has 3 presents." He grabbed the nutcracker from Marie and tossed him in the air. The nutcracker crashed to the floor and broke his head. "So what?" jeered Fritz. "It was an ugly thing." Herr Drosselmeyer bound Nutcracker's head with his handkerchief. Tenderly, Marie took the Nutcracker into her arms. She put him under the Christmas tree. Outside in the street, the carriages waited. After a flurry of goodbyes, Fritz and Marie were sent up to bed. But my poor Nutcracker is all alone, thought Marie. Tiptoeing back downstairs, holding Nutcracker close, she soon fell asleep. Herr Drosselmeyer slipped into the room and, raising his hand, casting a bit of magic. Bong, bong, bong. The Godfather clock struck midnight. Marie stirred and rubbed her eyes. The Christmas tree was growing. Around her came a scampering of mice. Squeak, squeak. They were gathering like an army to attack. Their ruler was the Mouse King, who had 7 heads and 7 crowns. Marie held Nutcracker and ran as fast as she could. Nutcracker leaped out of Marie's arms and held his sword ready. Fritz's toy soldiers took their battle positions. Swords flashed, cannons fired. Boom, boom, squeak, squeak. Nutcracker fought bravely, but the Mouse King was stronger. No, cried Marie, you shall not hurt him. She pulled off her slipper and threw it with all her might at the Mouse King. With a hiss, the Mouse King sank to the floor. Gathering up their king, the mice dragged him away. From the shadows, Herr Drosselmeyer saw Marie's bravery. He raised his hand, and Nutcracker was transformed into a handsome prince. The prince bowed to Marie and placed the Mouse King's sparkling crown upon her head. Come, said the prince. They walked through fallen snowflakes to a waiting boat that flew them through the night. Welcome to my kingdom, said the prince. But where are we? Asked Marie. You are in the land of the sweets, said the sugar plum fairy, coming through the gates of the kingdom. Welcome home, dear prince. We will have a party to celebrate your return. The sugar plum fairy led the prince and Marie to the seat of honor. Coffee, chocolate, Chinese tea, marzipan, and Mother Ginger and her polichinelles danced for them. Pink roses waltzed. At last, the sugar plum fairy danced. She seemed lighter than air. Too soon, it was time to leave. As they flew homeward, Marie asked the prince, "Will I ever see you again?" The prince replied, "One day, your courage and kind heart will be rewarded. Don't forget me." "What are you doing under that tree, Marie?" her mother said to her the next morning. "Wake up," said Herr Drosselmeyer. Marie opened her eyes and hugged her Nutcracker. She whispered, "If only you were alive, I would not care if Fritz said you were ugly. I would love you anyway." Herr Drosselmeyer raised his hand, and Nutcracker again became the prince of the fairyland. The prince said to Marie, "The Mouse King imprisoned me under an evil spell. Because you love me no matter what I look like, his spell is broken. I have been returned to my true form." Years passed, and the prince and Marie became engaged. After their wedding, they rode to the land of the sweets in a coach trimmed in gold drawn by 4 silver horses. To this day, there are those who say Marie is the queen of a wondrous fairyland that only those who believe can see. Thank you so much for reading with me. I hope you enjoyed this version of Susan Jeffers' The Nutcracker.
We hope you enjoyed both of our stories. We are now going to dance like some of the characters in The Nutcracker. You can follow along with us at home. Our first character is Marie. When Marie receives the Nutcracker from Drosselmeyer, she is so excited. Let's clasp our hands together and jump up and down.
Our next character is Fritz, Marie's brother. When she sees that Marie gets the Nutcracker, he becomes jealous and angry. So we're gonna throw a tantrum, we're gonna stump our arms, we're gonna fold our arms together, and then we're gonna take the Nutcracker and throw it to the ground.
Next in our story, Marie wakes up and sees mice scurrying around her house. Let's pretend like we are mice. Put up your whiskers, look one way and then the other, and then scurry around in a circle.
Then there are the toy soldiers who come to life ready to battle the mice. So, standing straight up, we're gonna march. March, 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 and then we're gonna salute.
After Marie and the Nutcracker Prince defeat the mice, they travel to the land of the snowflakes. Let's pretend like we're snowflakes dancing around. Put up your snowflake fingers, sway one way and then the other, and rise up on your three toes to turn around. Keep swaying one way and then the other, and then we're gonna melt all the way down to your knee.
Next, it's the land of the sweets where there are dances of flowers. So we're gonna bring our arms up, open nice and wide, and then we're gonna fold our arms over each other and bend low. One more time. Open our arms up, and then bring our arms up and over.
Now that we have learned all of the character movements, we are ready to add some music and dance the story of the Nutcracker.
I hope you all enjoyed bringing the Nutcracker to life with us. Thank you for dancing with us.
Visit LouisvilleBallet.org for more information about how you can purchase tickets to our virtual performance of the Brown-Forman Nutcracker. Happy holidays from Louisville Ballet!
Weren't those stories and dancing fantastic? Now it's time for us to do a Nutcracker-inspired craft led by the library's own Miss Aimee.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the reading of the Nutcracker by a dancer from the Louisville Ballet. It always puts us in a good mood and a good holiday spirit when we hear that story at story time. Today I thought we could talk about a really easy craft you can do at home to kind of be an extension of the story The Nutcracker, and you probably have all of these materials at your house already. So we are going to make a snowflake ballerina that can hang up. You can make several of these and decorate your house for the holidays. So what you'll need to make the snowflake ballerina is you're going to need some printer paper, some cardstock paper. It's a little bit heavier than printer paper. You're gonna need some scissors, some yarn or some string. You'll need some spray adhesive that you can find wherever you buy crafts, or you can use a glue stick. And if you want to make it extra fancy, use some glitter. So let's make a snowflake ballerina together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our ballerina template with some cardstock, and we're going to print this out on our printer at home, or you can come to the library and print this out on our printers after you make an appointment. So we're going to print out the ballerina silhouette, and then we're going to use some scissors and cut out the ballerina all the way around so that you end up with a ballerina that looks like this. If you've got some young ones in the house, you might have to help them cut, but this is good hand-eye coordination practice with scissors. For the ballerina's tutu, you're going to need to print out some snowflake templates. I like these templates a lot because they're really easy to use. You print this out, and then you cut out the square on this paper, and you use the lines to make your folds. Once you've folded everything, you're going to use your scissors and cut out all the gray areas on your snowflake. And when you're done, you'll have a nice snowflake that looks like this, and this will be the tutu for your ballerina's outfit. Once you have your snowflake cut out, you can use your glue stick and glue on top, or you can use some spray adhesive and spray. This is just like spray glue. Spray it all over the top of the snowflake, not both sides, just the top. And then you will sprinkle some glitter on to make it extra shiny. Let it sit for about 5 minutes so that it's really, really dry. And then when you're done, you'll cut a little hole in the middle of your snowflake and put your ballerina through. Cut a hole at the top of your ballerina and thread some string or some yarn. And then you end up with a nice, fancy, glittery snowflake ballerina. To find these templates, please look at the bottom of the video and you can print these out, and these are for everybody to use and they're free online. So I hope you enjoyed making our snowflake ballerina today. I think you should make lots of these and hang these all over your house to get into the holiday spirit.
Thank you for joining us today. If you would like to learn more about the Nutcracker or other magical stories, I invite you to check out the library. We have thousands of books, movies, and much more available at lfpl.org. And I hope you have a happy and safe holiday season.